work through into our upper semi-finals in Group B. They are going to be playing a little bit later on in the week. They're playing tomorrow, in fact. And they'll be playing against the winner of Falcons versus Dignitas, our third game of the day.
It never gets easier, does it, when you're at this stage of the World Championship? Each match, each subsequent series is somehow more tricky than the previous one. But FaZe Clan would have learned a lot about themselves, about their team, and about this stage from that matchup right there.
If you can win in this kind of situation, then you have got a very, very long career ahead of you, where it's so incredibly hard to be able to just figure out where you want to be going with your teammates, how you want to approach the series, and what it is exactly that you need to break down in those moments, whilst also this role is his job to then try and figure out how you talk to your teammates, how you also coordinate with the admin chain and figure out everything that goes on. It is impossibly hard. You're juggling a million plates and teenager on all of them, and you don't know where this is going to be going in the end. A lot happening from the crowd so far.
A lot happening.
You were headbanging yesterday. Where's the headbanging gone?
This guy's got a new thing every single day.
There we go. That's what we want.
Careful, don't headbutt that guy behind you.
Yeah, that's weird.
The FaZe Clan, it was so difficult for them, but that is the sign of a champion. In a series like that, when everything seems to be going against you, somehow finding the way to get those 4 games.
But also the club. They have done so well. They got through 4-2. I'm sorry, but they lost 4-2 in the end, but they got through that Swiss stage. They've still got a journey ahead of them. We are in double elimination groups. This World Championships is the best ever format we have done. That's Swiss. We're in double elim now. We'll be moving on to single elim when we get to our gigantic arena. This is just the start. Let's still remember that it's just only 1,000 people. There are still 13,000 yet to come. But the club have got so much to be proud of. They are representing South America. They have worked their way up here. But the winners are who Orb is with. He is hanging around on the stage with First Killer.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm standing here with First Killer. Mixed bag in this crowd right here. But you guys are victorious. Walk us through this series. Everything that you're feeling here.
I honestly feel amazing. The series was a bit rough because we were having some technical issues, and we lost the first 2 games, but we just talked it out and just reset the mental and knew we can beat them if we played our game, because they're a really good team. So we just need to play our game.
So when you have tech issues you know, when we have to take a break, there's many minutes that pass. How do you guys stay locked in? Do you take this time to talk over? Obviously fixing the tech issue, making sure that that is okay, but is there something that's being said, being done, just to stay in the game?
Well, the first thing we just say is that we just got this and just calm down and just chill, but mainly we just make jokes and just talk it out and have fun. That's it.
It's important to have fun. It really is. Winning is pretty fun. What made you guys win here today? What made you guys better than your opponents?
I think Gyro is a... I think Gyro's a huge factor when he gave the controller to Stick. He's a clutch factor. But yeah, I think we just use their mechanics to the max. We were just controlling the ball against them because they're a really defensive team and they're good on defense. I think we just played to break down their defense, take their boost, just solo play, and just play our game.
One final question. Having rolled this right behind you, okay, how much does that help? Be honest. You can be honest with us.
A lot, genuinely a lot. Rodes is such a hype man, and he's super smart too. He has a lot of game knowledge. So he just helps a lot, and if someone's down, he just helps us, I don't know, taps us on the shoulder, makes us look at him, and then he just tells us we got this, we're the best players in the world, and then yeah, it's just amazing. He's amazing.
Roldis is amazing. You guys are amazing. Congratulations. Once again, we got G2 versus Optic coming up next.
You should tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
Wait, did you say
Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
$30? Awesome.
Yeah, and it's from the most reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Wow, I gotta let my buddies know.
We're already here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
This might not be your car. And this might not be your engine. Maybe this isn't your morning routine. And maybe these aren't your coworkers. Perhaps these aren't your standard driving conditions. Far from it. But this is your oil, which means you're one of us. Doesn't it? For serious engines, on and off the track, upgrade to Mobile One.
Bronco Raptor is built to climb pretty much anything. Dunes, rocks, even ranks. The Bronco Raptor, Rocket League edition.
Chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. He's stripping down my privates, I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide the limitless, I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me through right here, a new chapter. Hey.
بس كعبول جاي.
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
Wait, did you say Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
What?
$30? It's awesome. Yeah, and it's from the
You
most
got any?
reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Wow, I gotta let my buddies know.
We're right here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
This might not be your car. And this might not be your engine. Maybe this isn't your morning routine. And maybe these aren't your coworkers. Perhaps these aren't your standard driving conditions. Far from it. But this is your order, which means you're one of us. Doesn't it? Serious engine, on and off the track. Upgrade to Mobile One.
The Bronco Raptor was built to climb pretty much anything. Dunes, rocks. Bronco Raptor, Rocket League Edition.
Hear it?
هلا والله بطول اسكت ليك هدف
barely registering a victory. G2 changed.
الهدف.
It's winter now. Their season-shaping roster switch is settled. More than settled. Excelled. The weather's colder, but all that's icy is the blood in new G2's veins. The world was theirs, but wait. Free fall in London. Remarkable highs, unexpected lows, pain, glory, more pain. So, you tell me, what comes next in the pattern?
ايوه هلا والله بالهدف.
The day started off with drama. The club dropping in 6 games to FaZe here. 2 goals taken off the board. At the end of the day, FaZe gonna come out on top. Here it goes.
Long time out for Roldiz to rally the boys. You know, tech issues aside, but Roldiz, that is a hard job as your first day as a coach. But he does a great job, and that is the first team that was down 2 games in a series to win a series in this entire tournament so far. So hats off to FaZe for battling back.
They had to really dig deep. We've seen KV1 stepping up in this series, which is great signs for them throughout the rest of the tournament, but even though Typical was the man of the hour for multiple reasons, he actually had a really significant performance.
Typical probably was absolute Typical came back in season 7, season 8 type form. FK was playing solid with the club. They were off the rip, mechanically brilliant. But me and the Green were talking, saying they just come back first, came back from 2-0, and of course it did happen. They just need to warm up a little bit. Had to get a great series, and after that, FaZe Clan looked like the better team from there on out.
I was sweating though. I'm not gonna lie. Club up 2, was playing amazing. Club's offense only number 12. Got a wild card, but that was because KV1 wasn't looking that great. He looked fantastic throughout the series. Club's offense was clicking with the fakes and everything. And then, of course, obviously, with tech issues aside, it was not a controller issue. The way that to bench just a bug in the game. The long time out, but they come back. FaZe wins that overtime. Then we see Sip again, a hat-trick in the final game. FaZe battled back.
Yeah, no, and looking at the club moving forward here, obviously dropping the lower back, we will see them again here. That's a hard one to bounce back from, but when they do, if they do, what a testament it is to the strength of this team if they're able to come back from a series like that. So we'll see them again a little bit later on up in Dickies Arena on Friday. Let's take a look at the group stage. 1 match done here for Group B. See FaZe Clan in the upper finals there. 3 more matches to go here before we are done with the day. And we're going to jump up to the top there. We saw a little foreshadowing before we came back from break. G2 Esports taking on Optic Gaming.
Baseman isn't here to grasp the green wall this time, but don't worry, I'm gonna give the green wall a whole bunch of love. But G2, OG, two teams that ended up switching rosters initially, come from the fall, after the fall split into the winter split. Drees and Atomic switching teams. OG game, the old NB getting picked up by Optic Gaming. These two teams have went through a lot of adversity throughout the whole entire season, and now they're here at the world stage.
And this is a matchup that's happened over and over again in North America. Every single time, it's gone the way of G2. It's been a very, very dominant season, as you'd expect from the Winter Major champions.
Well, they're trying to change the course of history at this point and find a win over G2.
It's not too much of a shocking result for us. I expected it, but looking forward to the rest of the tournament. It's going to be tough playing against the main stage teams, but we're ready for it. We have vendettas against any team who's knocked us out in the past, so Furia and version 1 mainly. It would feel best to win against Moist since they're the strongest team here. Every series is super important, so we're gonna have to perform at our best. I do think we have an advantage over teams who haven't played in the wildcard, since we're used to the computers and the LAN setup and playing on stream. I think it'll help us in the early stages. Nothing to say, then we'll let our gameplay do the talking.
They feel confident here, but this is going to be the biggest battle that Drees has had against his former team.
Yeah, but after Gaming, who finished better at London?
Here, but this is going to be the big...
Played in front of the crowd. G2 did not, so... I mean, maybe 1-1 on this roster trade so far.
Yeah, but that was the Mickey run give.
I mean,
that was a secret. It was a point.
I mean, 1-1 on this roster. Listen, I don't want to hear anything about Mickey run from OG Gaming. You saw a young miss right there. Tell me a team in the scene that has gone through this much turmoil, this much adversity throughout the whole entire year. Atomic left them, picked up Drees. Turbo posted up 4 times on the bench. Land lose in now. They've gone through all this and yet they're still here on the world stage competing against one of the best in the game. And it starts with that young man right there leading the team.
That's like we always do with Optic Gaming, is we underestimate Landlucian and how much of an impact he's going to do. We forget about it, then he comes back and he does well in the wild card.
But there's no bigger win for Drees. He got kicked off of with G2. Drees wants this probably more than anyone on the field right now.
And getting it in the group stages, getting it in like league play online is one thing. It would feel good, but all those losses they suffered online, not going to matter if he gets the win here.
So they played 3 times after the trade, and so far 0-3 for Drees, but none of that matters. It's World Championship time.
Well, and then you heard Lucian talking about it, like coming from the wild card. They've played on this stage before. We've seen the wild card teams start strong here. If they can start early, they might be able to put G2 in a rough spot. G2 though on the other side, looking to get back in full.
It feels great to be here in Dallas. If we didn't make it to this Worlds, we would have been super disappointed as a team, and just making the Worlds in general was a big goal for us this season, and I think we accomplished it being the first seed in North America.
Away from winning the major for themselves.
We have a new player, Atomic, and Me Chicago are kind of older players in the team, and I try to be that third man type play style that everyone talks about, and just filling in the gaps where it's needed. It means a lot to me to be here. I've been playing for a long time, and I've gone to many World Championships, and I've never been fighting for this is the final tournament I want to end my career on, and win the World Championship. We're going all the way.
And G2, the third team that has won a major to play here on the stage. Both Moist and BDS won their first matches here, Bates. G2's got to complete the hat-trick.
Can we say something about what was not talking about saying in his career off in a World Championship? Now, you still got a long time to go to Captain Canada right there. Come on,
I think at some point he's going to win a World Championship. Surely.
A lot of pressure on G2 though. Talk about a roller coaster of the fall major, no top 8 there. Then they make a roster. Winter major, they win it, they take over with the #1 seed in North America. Then in spring they win the regionals, hold on to #1. but when we got to London, another finish outside the top 8.
I'm the one person gets confused by the New York hats on a player named Chicago. I didn't think he's from Los Angeles. He's not wearing a Cubs hat or something.
He's not from Chicago. He's from Los Angeles, and but he does stay in New York, I think. Now this is where G2 facility is. But Atomic is the young man right there, has risen up the rank, the MVP, the true MVP. Gibbs, thank you very much. You haven't been able to win a major to win MVP. And the moment he joined G2, they have extended. I understand in London, they had a couple bumps in a row, but it happens to all the great teams. You gotta learn from that. It's better that happened then than happened now.
Hey, it's great. It's best of 7s here, so it's much harder to get reverse swept out of this tournament.
That is true. It's a lot easier to get reverse swept when they're best of 5s, 2 best of 5s in London. But hey, you know, G2, they know what they need to do. Out of all these teams, #1 in North America for a reason. They had a huge point lead over FaZe. G2, it's going to be roller coaster though. I'm not sure.
We've got manager Ian behind us. Famous Ian, of course. He's going to be
belated happy birthday to Turnbull Pulsa. I was upset last night when I found out we sang Rise's dad happy birthday, which, fair enough, it was his birthday, but we didn't sing Turbo.
And I will say that you got Coach Staff, he's opposite, because I like to call him. He's been orchestrating this team. I put him in that same tag team, Coach Rowan, SSG, bringing the game plans, and he has great players that take those in and implement them onto the field. Most teams and rosters cannot do that.
Yeah, this first series is going to be super important for G2, mentality-wise, after how tough London was, how they would have felt mentally after that. This is their regain, hopefully. Unless this hit that time again.
It's so difficult to tell what they're going to show on stage. Like Optic, I think you know exactly what they're doing. A lot of defense, not a ton of offense, a lot of counterattacks. Optic is very consistent, but they're consistent as like a #5 in NA. G2, their peak, obviously, #1 in North America, maybe the best
in the world.
Was Winter Major, but then they finished outside top 8. I just don't know what they're going to play.
And is there a common thread between the two bottom 8 finishes? Those who are not making it to the final for G2 that we're got to keep our eye on here for match #1.
I think it's going to come down to their offense. They have a high-powered offense, but when they shoot and they shoot poorly, I think that is when they get in trouble because they like to send all 3 upfield. And Optic would love for the team to do that and then shoot and miss, and then we get a counterattack. So I think Optic, they're going to play their defensive game and they're going to hope that the shots get a little bit offensive.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Chicago, I feel like, have a little bit of a rough time in London. All the way back in the fall major, Chicago and JNAPs are 2 experienced players. I think they put a lot of pressure on their shoulders, considering how close they've been in the past to World Championship wins, how much it means to them. I'm glad that they got that major win, but now we go up again.
I mean, there's a lot of X factors you could point at here, Fates, but for me, I'm still just looking at the same lineup I was looking at earlier. Breeze versus Atomic. The roster change finally coming to like this pinnacle here as these players swap and who's going to come out on top.
And that's why, as you bring it up, that's such an important point to make. A lot of people win threes, ended up going in old MB now Optic Gaming. A lot of people didn't expect Optic Gaming to be here at this time because they thought Breeze, a significant downgrade, Atomic's too great, the team won't be here. So that really shows how good Breeze is, how good an OG roster is. I'm so proud of him to be here. It's going to be an exciting match.
Gotta prove them right here. Let's see how you feel at home in the Verizon fan vote. Hashtag OG, hashtag G2. Kind of the side you're falling here. We'll just go down the line. Yum cheese man. G2 or Optic?
Well, I'm going to play with history. With these 2 rosters, with Atomic switched over, G2 have won every single time, and I'm going to back it again. It's going to be an easy one for G2.
I have a long history with G2 predictions. Not going well sometimes, but I'm sorry, G2 fans. I'm going to have to pick G2 here. They have always beaten Optic. It might be a curse, but I'm going G2.
JNF's Atomic Chicago. You already know I'm rolling with G2, baby. You already knew that, man. I got Atomic versus Mist. 2 of my favorite players in the game. 2 of the best players in the game, in my estimation. I think that G2, the offensive prowess, we saw NOG yesterday really putting on the pressure against B1, but they couldn't capitalize. G2 doesn't have that problem anymore. They're too calculated, too efficient. OG, your back's against the wall.
Here's the thing. G2 has always beaten Optic, but every one of those is online. On this stage, but after playing for 5 days, and the only times I've done the green wall, they've proven me wrong. I'm sticking with the green wall. This one I saw one green wall sign out there. Give them to me, folks. I believe it. We can make it happen. Bigger mountains have been moved in Rocket League. How's the chat feeling at home in the Verizon fan vote here? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say the green wall's been showing up more and more as this event's been going on. It was like 10%. Yeah, I think they were even 10% last time we saw them. So good to see the players here. I mean, I'm looking at Atomic. I'm looking at Drees. Can Drees pull all up to this pressure though? This is gonna be a lot.
It's really gonna be like Optic. I feel like game one is a must-win for Optic. You can't let the game rolling.
That's facts.
So you need at least the first two games, very similar to FaZe and Club. Like Club got the first two games made it the series, but FaZe found their form. Same thing's gonna happen here with G2.
All right, well, let's get on to the stage for an inter-regional match. G2 versus Optic. Optic has lost every time. Can they change the story here? G2, they've got the fans in the house and in chat. Let's get into game one. Let's head down to the Verizon Skybox.
I guess.
A classic North American skirmish here in North America. I'm Stumpy, joined by Fubi, and these two teams have a very favourable matchup in terms of G2. It is currently 6-1 in favour of our Winter Major champion.
Yeah, but Stumpy, you gotta put an asterisk on that one. When they did take down G2, Atomic was on that roster, and as you know, the North American MVP on the side of G2 Esports now.
And interestingly, they didn't even win that match. It was a set. It was the one back in fall. It was a 3 best-of-7s, 21 games. Just the one series win in the middle for Envy at the time, now Optic. So yet to actually beat G2 in a to progress through a bracket or to take a title.
Mama, well, I really feel like that's going to be the game plan for Optic. They've got to play the marathon here. They cannot try and go toe-to-toe with G2 Esports. They've got to try and take them into deep water.
Good opportunities at the right-hand wing as Drees is going to push around the side. Chicago and Jane are both waiting on that back wall. Dunstone blocks out on the left yet again. Jane that's being incredibly aggressive. That's what we saw from him at the Winter Major. I think we're going to be talking about the Winter Major when we say G2 are good, and we're going to be talking about the Spring Major when we say that G2 are not so good.
Yeah, not the best performance from them, especially coming out as major champions and not even making it to the crowd days. Mist gets that one right around Atomic, barreling down the field, and nice poke there from the Chicago, getting that away from Mist. And I'm gonna have all eyes on Drees here. He's been one of my favorite players in North America. There has been so much talk all around him. G2, and I've always said, please more Drees, but denied on the goal line. Couldn't quite get under the crossbar. Here's Drees, looking for a big clear, gets that boost, but J-Nap continues the pressure for G2.
A very interesting history between these two teams, wherein Optic switch one player for the other. You've got Drees moving over for Atomic and then going back again. And it is a big, big situation where these teams have just decided we are better with the other one. We are better with your teammate. The J9 from Chicago, they have been misters of G2 for a long time now.
Yeah, an awkward touch there for Illusion, but Drees with the help elects to go backwards, get that midfield boost, and great drop down pass. Drees a little too far back for the follow-up by Mist, but here comes G2, almost halfway through game number 1 here, and still, both teams yet to score.
Mist was extremely low on boost on that shot as well. I felt he could have got round it, but then looking at the boost counter, he ended on 0. But that call, if it came in, maybe he could have passed it instead of ended up being a bit of a nothing shot. Halfway through the game, chances are rising. Atomic shooting against Drees. Each other's replacements, so absolutely no bad blood there whatsoever.
Yeah, and big demo there in the defensive half from Mist to slow down that pressure coming out from G2 as Atomic bombs that one forward just out of the reach of Chicago. But Chicago gonna go for that big boost deal, looking for bump, can't quite find anyone, and here comes Drees, gets the challenge, ball towards midfield, but no one there in the box to clean things up.
Opportunity though for Drees to go for a shot down, instead Mist, but has to return. J-Nabs, right-hand wing, chances, but no booster. He will have to retreat, tries to go for a bump on the way. Those aggressive plays doing so well for teams across the board. Go for a pass, go for a bump, help your teammates out in whichever way they are able to do so. Drees, chance to pass centre, but Atomic. Yeah. What a clear into the opposite corner. Sets up Chicago for one. Alu continuing on that push down.
Yeah, much needed touch as well on that double commit. Very fortuitous bounce in his favor as Atomic, little help from his teammate to get this ball, and Chicago cuts rotations. Might have disrupted Atomic just enough, and it does. Turnover for G2, but they do keep it in the zone, and here comes Drees. Goes around one, but that ball just away from him. Chicago to Atomic. Atomic towards net. Just a little too high off the crossbar.
Just a smidge, pretty much beans on that bat, boys. Chicago in the midfield, catches it high. Chance to go to JNAP. Again, opportunities for passes, but with Atomic missing, Chicago has to fill in that gap. Passes central. Atomic from nowhere actually gets that touch off the back from JNAP. Drees going for a wonder goal. Isn't able to get it on that chance. Final minute, rapidly approaching. Still 0-0 in this group.
And Optic Gaming realized how important it is to hold back G2. So dangerous if they get game number one. You give them game one, Stumpy, they're 90% likely to win that series. So Optic Gaming holding on for dear life. Double demo coming out as Atomic gets that ball away. And 40 seconds remain here. Game number one, G2 pushing forward.
And Alu rocking the Merc as well, which is a very interesting card choice. I always love seeing a little bit of deviation from the norm. I'm sure that he wants to make this goal anything but normal. Chance for it to go high, but instead cleared away yet again by Janab. Very loose touch from Drees that falls back to miss, have to clear it away. A couple of errors from both teams coming up, but nothing devastating just yet. Missed though, left again with an opportunity to shoot with nobody in the way.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation there from Chicago, and it might have been the fact that he had 50 boost in the tank. Drees puts that one to his back corner, but no one home there. This is going to be dangerous. G2 has a chance. But a big swing and miss on the goal line as this ball going to get cleared downfield. You can hear everyone counting down with us. The ball floating at the top of the box and turned away by Atomic, but the ball still alive. And overtime we go here in game number one.
I saw Alu's name up in lights there at 0 seconds, but he just did not have the ability to put that one away. An immediate push coming in from G2 with a misplay from Optic. The green wall thus far holding strong against the mighty Samurai of G2.
Big demo there at midfield, going to clear things up for Miss, but those first touches for Optic Gaming is getting away from them. The ball control not quite there. Let's see if Miss can get that towards central, and no, Dree's going to elect to go in. Lucian forced to go back, but that ball almost gets over his head, and these teams have just been going back and forth, Stumpy. It's almost like there's no midfield in play. They're just so comfortable playing in each other's half.
Yeah, the midfield being completely forsook in this game thus far. Chance to shoot on target. Alu clearing it away, but Atomic starting to look dangerous. Cleared into the corner by Chicago. Opportunities arising with JNats passing to Atomic onto the backboard, the double tap. Nearly a chance for Alu clearing it away again. JNats removes Miss from the conversation.
Miss spawning on the right side there to cover up the goal line is that ball hanging top of the box. This is going to be dangerous. JNAP can't quite reach it. Coming off the back wall, and Grease, no boost. Didn't realize it. Just off of the post. JNAP can't clean it up. And the green wall living up to their name, but finally they fall. G2 Esports takes game number one.
The wall beginning to crumble as G2 take a sledgehammer to every individual brick. Mortar goes flying as Chicago finds the top left. G2, first game going their way, and Subi, please remind me of that stat for G2 winning game one.
90% series win rate if they take game number one. You want to talk about momentum? Well, it is all on the side of G2 Esports right now as they take a big sigh of relief after getting a dub there in game one. And the fans all around the world have got to feel good about that one, especially coming in as heavy favorites against Optic.
There's chances for retribution and to show that each of these teams is able to perform when it matters. G2, we said the Winter Major was the best we have literally ever seen them play. They became champions of the world in that moment. And yet then spring was not their time. They ended up bowing out right at the end of that, the start of that competition. And Optic had a couple of shock wins, but they still want to prove to everybody they are here to hang with the big dogs, because that roster has gone through a billion permutations, it feels like, over the spring split.
Yeah, and I really feel like adding Illusion has done so much for this team, so much comfort on that side. But you talk about roster changes and bringing Atomic over to G2. When we saw them play in the Winter Major, I mean, it's just finally he lived up to all those expectations. And then I feel like they just got a little too comfortable in spring. A couple reverse sweeps, got too comfortable there. But here, realizing most important stage, World Championship, so much on the line. Game 2, Aquadome, here we come.
Aquadome is such a pretty map. You rarely get to see it from that angle. I love the observation we've seen so far. It's been wonderful. G2, they're going to be looking out for a win themselves. Another one, go to 2, then 3, then 4. They want to be shutting down this series quicker than the club phase ended up going. It's been a long day so far, and it's literally 1 p.m.
Well, you know, you're probably on a different time zone or something. I'm not sure, but either way, here comes Optic, denying the first shot from G2 Esports. Solution just floating, didn't have boost, but JNAP didn't know it, puts it down on his goal line, and thankfully no punishment coming from Optic.
Chance for Drees, though, to score on that chance, but Drees now being bumped away from that ball. Very good recovery from him to slide into the boost and continue down the pitch, facing off versus an old captain in JNAP, Atomic to the sky. Opportunity again. Oh my! Underneath this ball, falling to G2 over and over again.
Great cover there as that ball just finds a way back post and in. Great chip shot here from JNAP.
That is just something a little bit naughty, with Chicago laying it off to him in a lot of space. Alu's momentum carried him away from that shot. Has to stop, put the brakes on, tries to half flip, isn't able to get there, and G2 with an early lead in game number 2.
And so, oh no, bad kickoff here for G2. And Lucian can't get it around Atomic as Drees tries to keep things alive. This one pushed forward. JNAP's up early and gets the touch on that one. So dangerous and so creative as an awkward bounce comes out of the corner. Gonna be a favor here for Optic Gaming. Big bump. JNAP just barrels his way through. Oh my goodness, what a pass downfield and what a redirect from Illusion to tie this game up.
In the midfield, you just see that touch going slightly too wide. Drees able to shoot it towards the net, but Alu on the way out, he whips back in, is able to get it in that bottom corner. Ball respawning, we find ourselves level between Optic and G2.
So far, all of the offense that's been present for G2 has been running through Chicago and JNAP. Still waiting to see the reigning North American MVP get involved. He's been getting a few defensive stops, but he is so deadly, so mechanical. Big stop on the goal line from JNAP. Gets another one as well, refuses to let that ball in.
JNAP showing the green wall what a real brick is made of. Manages to keep it out from that line again. Soaring above the net, Mister wanting to take the opportunity to put Chicago out the way. Those were two brilliant shots on target, and yet JNAP stays firm.
Composure through and through from JNAP. So much experience. Been around the scene for a long time, and it's going to take a lot more than that to get him to bite and jump out of net. Great pass from Chicago. Atomic. A little off target there, just high off the crossbar, but G2 not done with their offense. They're going to rotate through as Chicago sees. It goes for the fake. I love that play, but unfortunately, Optic Gaming a little too wise to let that one in.
We're seeing so many fakes recently, but sometimes the biggest opportunity is just by shooting. I love seeing those fakes though. Just when you see them just bow out of it, get out the way and let their teammate into strike. It's wonderful to see. Halfway through the game, Miss stays firm despite the fact there was somebody on the backboard wanting to hit the redirect. Right-hand wing sees Miss go for one touch, needed a second. Where is Drees? Nowhere to be seen. Instead, G2 now on the push.
Oh, awkward ball there for Lucian. And Ball trail stayed orange. I'm not sure if he got a touch or if it was just a misplacement from Atomic. Either way, it leads to a turnover and push downfield for Optic Gaming as Drees puts this one up. JNAPS comes in from the weak side, keeps this ball alive here for G2, but boost grab from Drees gonna slow things up for G2, and finally getting boost. JNAPS still on an island, has nothing left in the tank, gets boosted up, ball still alive, but here comes Illusion, and again, JNAPS holding down that back line.
Opportunities for G2 to extend their lead, but Optic are staying firm. They're making sure that these opportunities just go amiss, or they're able to clear them into the corners. Then you can get the 1-2 attack out of defense. Alu turning around again, positioning. I think there's a lot to be desired. He's finding himself in awkward situations. He's having to reverse, turn around, do 3-point turns. It is not working. But so far, level in this game, it's not been devastating, but I can see G2 pressing that.
Well, and I think a lot of the reason for that is the rotations of G2. It's so uncharacteristic at times because you'll see a member that's supposed to rotate out, but will cut in and just challenge a ball that you don't expect them to be on, and missed on that back wall, and Drees can't catch up. Chicago puts G2 ahead, less than a minute to go.
And the crowd are very happy about that one. It goes onto the backboard. Alu with a devastating miss. Chicago there, able to clear it into the corner where there was nobody. Drees nearly saving it away, but instead, G2 managed to get that lead. And it's something that they've certainly been pressing for a very long time in this game.
Yeah, on this stage, this late in the season, you gotta play Rocket League way better than this. Perfection not here for Optic, and G2 capitalized.
Optic hit the ball! Just everybody grounded, nobody wanting to take the initiative there. And so Atomic says, yeah, all right, I'll smash them back against my own team, I don't care. Atomic, great play from him. Optic, sort it out.
My goodness, you gotta jump on the goal line. Someone has to go. And we know this team is, you know, very relaxed, very calm in Optic Gaming. You gotta call things out. Gotta have the communication. And that one just almost pushed through. Mist puts it into the corner. And here comes Mist, twirling his way through, but unfortunately no style points can go up on the scoreboard as Atomic just gonna throw this one up. I like that play there. I love that. You dangle it in front of the opponent, they come and get it, and not only are you keeping it away, but you're burning time off the clock.
Burning time, burning boost. Everything is being taken away from Optic so far. The final 10 seconds sees a miracle needs to come on its way. Maybe that comes in the form of Drees. This time, though, it does not look like it will be. G2 Esports 2-0 up in the series. Subi, I'm not going to push you too much to say what their win percentage is when they end up going 2-0 up at the start of the series. Do you know it?
I would probably say 137%, because if you give G2 that much momentum, you're not going to stop them. This team is so good. But for Optic Gaming, my friend, they've just got to do more. They've got to come out of the gates hotter. They've got to try and score first. Because if you allow G2 Esports to continue to get that first initial goal, you allow them to really spread their offense apart, and you cannot get those long clears over their heads. It's just difficult to start an offense.
It just felt like silly errors to me, like especially that third goal. Somebody had a completely open net to shoot on. Like, what else is he going to do? Where else is he going? He's going to shoot it at the net. And yet everybody stayed grounded. They only just got back and completely outplayed. The crowd's big fans of seeing G2 go ahead, however, so at least somebody is happy in this conversation. That goal from Ali was excellent, but still, I need to keep harping on about his positioning. It's annoying me. It's annoying me seeing him just go into iffy positions where you just think, mate, why are you turning around? Why are you not half-living there? Why are you being there too quickly? Because sometimes it's a symptom of that. It's a symptom of getting somewhere too quickly and then you slow down, only to speed back up again.
Exactly.
If you get there in moderate time, usually it's a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. It kills all your momentum once you have to hit that break and then try and speed right back up. And it really just throws timing off. And you can see him, all three members talking, but G2, calm, cool, collected. Game 3 about to begin. And my goodness, this team looks like they are on a mission to hoist a trophy above their heads.
Done it before. This is the first step for them, the first showing of G2 on our stage. Whereas Optic, they went through 5 series to get here. They went to the Death versus Secret, knocked them out. They'll be taking their place. And they want to make sure that everybody knows, that they believe, that they can see with their own 2 eyes that Optic deserve to be here.
That's wide open, nobody home, but Illusion able to catch up. Soft touch from Atomic all the way downfield, but I love that. Just a little honesty check, making sure that Optic Gaming is rotating back in time. Infield pass, Atomic way too high on that one, and Atomic not going to be able to catch up, but here comes J-Naps off the side wall. That one's off the crossbar. Illusion able to get there. Great 50-50 mid-air, but Atomic slowed down by Mist, and I love that pre-jump.
Mist defense, we've seen it throughout the spring split. We saw it throughout any other competition he's been in, London as well. He was phenomenal defensively. He was one of the most exciting players to see where he was going to come from. But even with a Mist on your side, J-Nap will find that gap.
I love this pass as well. The ball's on the right side, going all the way towards midfield, and then left post and in. J-Nap saw Drees coming off that side wall. Knew no way he was going to get back door. And J-Nap gives G2 Esports 1-0 lead early on here in Game 3.
After that goal as well, out of my peripheral, I saw J-Nap's dad get excited, get very animated, seeing what they are capable of. And something he loves to be hanging out with Chicago's dad as well. The parental pride on G2, they've been here for so long. Must be incredible to watch them competing at the biggest world championship we've ever had. And between them, Alu finally A chance held away.
Yeah, but it's chaos on the back line here for Optic. They've got to do something to get this ball out of their zone. Just under 40 boost for all of them right here, and finally they're starting to get whittled down. Little double tap there off the ceiling from Chicago, and Optic Gaming hanging on by a thread, but sometimes that thread strong enough to hold you throughout as Chicago catches that ball. Nice double touch. Atomic can't get the ground pinch, and Chicago denied, but my goodness, Optic Gaming needs to get some offense started.
Yeah, so far it's just been defense, and you don't usually win a game on defense. You can sometimes get a cheeky runaway goal, but you're not getting that against G2. Their positioning is typically fantastic. This so far for me has looked great on Optic. He was shadowing earlier on when there was a 2v1, and he was doing that so effectively that G2 could even get the shot away.
Yeah, and right now we've been talking a lot about G2's offense, and Chicago getting involved a ton. He's 4th in NA for shooting percentage, so if you give him a look, he is most likely going to rattle it in as JNAP flip reset pass, but Chicago tried pre-jumping it. I love to see those plays, but sometimes they can get mighty dangerous, but Optic Gaming very flat-footed right here, and G2 Esports starting to look like they're in free play, I'm sorry.
Chicago with multiple opportunities as well, just shooting a little bit high on that chance. Into the corner, it falls to Dream. Opts to not take his time. Guess who's going to be there? It's going to be JNAP. G2 are going to continue pushing, but these saves from Mist are going to keep them begging.
And here we go. Numbers for Optic, but Atomic swats that ball away, gives him no time to think. Gets that one around Illusion. JNAP's a little too close to get that one, and gonna slow down G2 for a moment here, and Illusion up early, but again, denied by Atomic. He is just so quick and reads plays so well. You got to do something else to try and trick him out. Maybe a little fake, maybe a little passing, infield passing play. Oh, baby, post rattles out. And Illusion can't find it either. G2 Esports playing perfectly right now.
They're all in the net. They all knew their job, yet Mist stretched them as hard as he could. Alu, though, shooting wide on a much simpler shot. I like that we're finally seeing some attack come out of Optic, however. They are doing a lot better in this game. There are chances opening up for them. Just have not been able to take this. JNAP had to whip it around. Does manage to do so. We approach 1 minute left. G2 still leading 1-0 and 2-0 in this series.
Yeah, I just love how aggressive G2's playing right now. Giving Optic Gaming zero space, especially at midfield. They can't get any plays developing, and they continue to try and run their offense through G2's corners, and at the moment, not working whatsoever. Demo attempt to come out, but Drees able to avoid that one. The flick not on target.
Those demos potentially going to be the kryptonite for Optic versus G2. But if they're going to be figuring that out in game number 3 when they're currently 2-0 down, you need to get the goal from it soon. Chance goes off the backboard. JNAP's trying to dish it in. Does not manage to this time. Final 30. 1 goal separating them. Atomic, though, wanting to make it 2. And again, Alu with a save, learning from Mist.
And you see JNAP there rotating out, but not before he gets an aggressive play on Mist there. As Mist, nobody goes for that ball. Miscommunication. And Optic Gaming need to push out of their half right now. 10 seconds remaining, and Chicago just picks the pocket of Optic's defense.
They are calm and stoic on their cameras too. As far as G2 are concerned, this is just the bumps in the road that they need to navigate. They just need to get past it. They see the trophy at the end, and they are going full speed, slowing down whenever a team approaches them, but backing them all out the way to second.
Not even a bump in a road, it's just a little pothole. Right now, you just got to swerve to the left to get around it. As game number 3 here, going to go in favor of G2. JNAP putting the exclamation point on this game.
1 second left. Not happening. It literally can't. Game number 4. And I hate to say this to any Optic fans in the audience right now, we are yet to see a single reverse sweep in a best-of-7 on an RLCS LAN. It is stacked against them. Optic previously have won a single series versus G2, but it did not matter because it was part of a set, and that was without Atomic on their side.
Yeah, G2 fans out there can probably take a big sigh of relief and say, okay, this one's almost all the way in the bag, and no bigger sigh of relief than JNAP's dad standing right behind us. He was telling us he was on pins and needles before this series started. Yes, G2 heavy favorites, but on this stage, anything can happen, and hey, history could still come out, but I like G2's odds.
Optic, bear in mind, they worked through that Swiss stage, through the wild card, going for three wins, 2 losses. It was hard for them. It was hard for, but they earned their spot here.
Wow. We just got word. Optic Gaming, no timeout. They just want to keep going through this. And I agree.
We're giving each other the same face.
I don't know about that. It's a bold move. It's a bold move. But a move nonetheless, and something that they're going to have to live with if they do drop this 4th game. But G2, taking words of advice from their coach Safi, he's been just so integral into their success in the RLCS. He's been a mainstay. He's been around for so long and retired as a player. Took his knowledge onto the coaching field, and my goodness, G2 has just seemed to work so well with all 4 of these members working together.
Game number 4 on Utopia. Chances for obviously to work their way back. Do they get the game win, or is this just a relatively routine 4-0 for G2?
G2's defense has just been incredible, but I think the defense really stems from their offense. The amount of pressure that... Oh my goodness! Atomic pre-flip over the defender! My goodness!
You want to bump him, you better do it better! Atomic skims and slides and taps it past the final defender. 15 seconds and excellence is already achieved.
And I love how after that, G2 barely even smirks. They are on a complete mission. They are here to do some work, and some work has been done. But still, 4 minutes separates them from a series win, and they realize so easily things can get away from them.
Trees shooting high on that ball, but off that backboard. Yet more G2 defense is looking brilliant. Miss wants to go high with this. He's been fantastic defensively. The offense, though, this time not there.
But Optic Gaming looking the best they have here in game number 4, maintaining a little bit of pressure. Off the ceiling is Illusion, and can't quite find the musty there.
Illusion, they're going for a bump. We said previously how well that may well fare against G2. It's trying to shake them out of their fantastic rotation so far, but needs to make that contact at Supersonic, otherwise you're just putting yourself out of position.
You got to do something, right? I mean, G2 Esports, the best in North America as far as limiting shots goes, and Chicago able to get that defensive demo, slow things down for Optic.
Chance on the open net though to shoot. Chicago unable to get back. Missed with a vital goal.
And Chicago just kind of hanging in the corner there, gets boost. But unfortunately, that shot so far away from him, he had to try and stretch for it just off of his fingertips and in. And Optic Gaming tie us up here in game number 4. And kickoff in favor of G2 Esports, JNaps.
You